Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum. I have to first admit that I'm late on the party because I was in another party hosting the Saudi delegation which was visiting from Riyadh for potential investment in Pakistan. So, sorry for showing up late. My presentation is in my iPad, but it's already here, so I'm going to start from here now. Hamza, usse kehna mera iPad liya. Okay, so financing clean air for Pakistan, a very important and a transformational agenda, I must say. I'm not going to delve into the details of why it is important, because you already must have had enough discussions on that subject. Second slide. Can you give me the control of this presentation? I can handle it myself. Globally, some of the countries, some of the cities are actually have the worst of PM 2.5 levels. And that causes Pakistan to suffer something like 6% of the GDP every year owing to the climate crisis. For banks, what does it mean? It means the dirty year means lower repayments, weaker exports, and of course, high non-performing loans. Our CRO, you just heard at the panel, he's the most worried about the whole thing, and that's the reason why he is in charge for clean financing at Bank of Punjab. And then, of course, this is just the impact of, in the normal course of business, the flooding impact is on top of that. So it's all together, it's substantial impact. It's starting from health, economy, and finance. They're all interlinked, and it impacts all of them, as I said in the earlier slide also. And this conference is actually about not just about awareness, but about concretizing the ideas of structured finance and the way forward. And that's how the conferences should be. Pakistan's climate finance gap is around 348 billion US dollars between now and 2030. And obviously the impact of flooding aside, which could be another, $100 million perhaps between now and 2030. The dilemma is that we have enough capital available internationally. The challenge is that we do not have the projects to tap into that funding. And we merely have been able to mobilize 0.5% of the funding which was available out there from the committed flows for Pakistan. Justice Mansoor is here. Assalamu alaikum, sir. I know you are a big advocate of clean air. We are trying to do our bit. Assalamu alaikum. कैसे हैं आप? Good to see you. इनसे हमारा सर बड़ा पुराना रिश्ता है जस्टिस साहब से. The world is not short of capital. The world is short in confidence that they have in Pakistan's readiness. The missing middle is about the projects and are about better coordination amongst various federating units. Capacity building is the key name of the game is required. Even the term FX financing, which is the most challenging of all the financing requirements in Pakistan, is also available out there. But I don't think we are ready and have the capacity to tap into that. So what is the way forward? The way forward is green taxonomy. It's the need of the hour. It's the real game changer when it comes to clean air financing. It's all about plumbing the capital flows. And in terms of next steps, it's about integrating the federating units. And coordinator bhi Prime Minister ki baithi hui hain. She knows what I'm talking about exactly. We have had many discussions on this already. The integration with the federal and the provincial level is something which is the need of the hour, because the projects rest in the provinces, while the entire effort of fundraising is either being done through EAD or State Bank of Pakistan at the federal level. And that disconnect is causing that lack of delivery as far as the project's financing is concerned. I must have to admit, ladies and gentlemen, that banks are not doing enough. I'm also the chairman of Pakistan Banks Association, and I can put the hand on my heart and say that perhaps banks needed to do better and more. We are not doing our bit enough. We needed to understand what is needed. What is required is to embed the green covenants in our financing facilities, because this is the only way where we can push people to go towards climate-compliant projects. And this is how we can dictate them as well. It could be ESG risk scoring or stress testing for that matter. It could be about, channelizing liquidity from different sources which are out there, which are actually quite attractive, to tell you the truth, when it comes to foreign currency funding. One, the foreign currency funding is not flowing through for Pakistan very easily, but for climate, that funding is definitely there. And, we need to really tap into that funding through World Bank and EDB, the concessional funding. Bank of Punjab has done its bit. At the end of the day, this logo up here, I have to justify my salary as well. So the Bank of Punjab piece has to come through. But to be honest with you, Bank of Punjab is doing much more than any other bank when it comes to climate space. And there, we are the only bank in Pakistan which has been recognized by AFD. They have a strategic alliance with them. They've given 50 billion euros and 675,000 euros of technical assistance grant to us. Institutionally, which is unheard of when it comes to public sector entities, as we call it SOEs, that at the board level we have an ESG committee. We are one of the earlier ones who set it up, and we've embedded that in our risk. We have diverse green portfolio, extending renewable energy loans to sustainable agriculture, to SME energy efficiency, and to green transport financing. All of them, Bank of Punjab is far ahead of the rest of the banking industry. But internally as well, Bank of Punjab has done its bit in terms of having a cleaner energy and healthier work environment. And in that space, we have already solarized 69 branches and hostels and our registered offices. We've installed air purifiers in the small affected districts of Punjab, the only bank in Pakistan which did that for their customers and their employees. And 81 more sites are planned for 2027. This institutionalization of the green financing by BOP is something which is replicable in the industry, and we would encourage the others to follow the suit. Bank of Punjab has recently issued the first ever ESG report. The credit goes to Arsalan, who's sitting right here, and Ali is also there. The credit goes to them for coming out with this great report. I think Waqas is also around somewhere, because he's been putting up pictures on the group. Nevertheless, these are the people who are behind this report. Very proud of it, that as public sector institution. The other institution, by the way, that I am a non-executive chairman of, have done the similar interventions in climate compliance. In fact, we would like OGDC to be the champion of climate compliance in Pakistan. I've already talked about the climate and green financing initiatives that the banks has taken, the governance system. The future roadmap now is that the Bank of Punjab is planning to have a green bond by 2026 and then start computing the score for to finance emissions next year as well. The green credit cards are also in the pipeline. There are two case studies, ladies and gentlemen, that I would like to share with you. One is on agriculture and livestock card, the star product of our banking, of our Government of Punjab collaboration. The interesting bit is that the most polluters are actually the biggest victim of their own act as well, or the lack of thereof. So the damage also, while the agriculture and livestock are the largest polluters, they are the victims of climate challenges too. The important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that the poor quality of input and the excessive input is something that results in environmental hazards because it travels through the soil. And both agriculture and livestock our environment pollution travels through the soil, and that is why it's important to regiment the quality and the quantity of the input that we are putting in, both in agriculture as well as livestock. The product that Bank of Punjab has introduced in collaboration with Government of Punjab is called Kisan Card and Livestock Card. Under both the projects, it's a closed-loop project whereby we regiment the extent and the quality of input, pesticides, fertilizers, and seed. It not only improves the productivity, but it also mitigates the risk of climate pollution. The second project that I would like to share with you is on the industry side, a couple of them, on industries and transport. Transport, as you all know, 40% of the pollution in urban areas is owed to the transport. We few years ago launched brick kiln financing as SME retrofit loans. Very successful. It helped in reducing the emissions by 60%. The two products that we've done with Government of Punjab, again, we are very proud of that, is CM's interest-free bike scheme and 2- and 3-wheeler program, which is in the pipeline now. We are also working, by the way, with Government of Punjab Transport Department on e-buses, around 650 e-buses, and e-taxis, around 1,100 e-taxis. And because of our success in Punjab, we were invited by the federal government to structure the facility for them for 2-wheeler and 3-wheeler financing, 40,000 e-bikes and around 1,200 rickshaws, which are being financed by the industry. The entire framework is prepared by the Bank of Punjab. In fact, on the 4-wheeler side also, the project which is coming up now, other than the e-taxis that I talked to you about, the project which is coming up now is the BYD's project in Pakistan, the assembling project. Bank of Punjab has the exclusive mandate to finance both foreign currency and local currency there. In fact, the first LC of $35 million is already been established for that project. The real challenge, however, when it comes to transport is on the supply side choking. On the supply side, while the financing is there, banks are keen to do it. International financing is also available. Government is also willing to give the subsidy because the international financial institutions do not generally have a problem or object to this kind of subsidy. But the problem and the bottleneck really is on the supply side. On the supply chain side, there is a serious bottleneck, and that needs to be worked on and removed. And this is an opportunity to the businessman who's sitting here, that they must look at how that bottleneck can be removed. Because there's substantial demand coming through, almost 150,000 vehicles in the next couple of years. The CM Punjab's bike scheme is actually a real success story. 18,600 bikes have already been delivered. 3,000 of them are the e-bikes. And ladies and gentlemen, majority of them have gone to the women. So that's another very important aspect. The way forward is to have private-public partnership. There is no other way. The government has to come up with the schemes to develop climate-friendly infrastructure, and also some kind of first loss guarantees, tax incentives, carbon credits, and of course, the other financing frameworks. The private sector has to take a step forward and look at clean technology and ESG compliance in all their manufacturing initiatives and endeavors. The banks and DFIs have to open their minds to be doing the financing on the compliance side. And it really boils down to two things. One, be ready for the taxonomy aligned. 1 minute to bahut der hai, 30 seconds. Taxonomy aligned lending has to be embedded in the system, and then also they need to work on tapping into the technical assistance from international funding. I'm going to skip the next slide because I've already talked about it a bit, what government needs to do. The last slide is related to this is the time for action, ladies and gentlemen. Enough of the talk. The agenda is so gigantic that we need to be working together in collaboration with each other as one party. No one institution, no one sector, no one country, or for that matter, the entire globe is there joint from the hip in this agenda. Everybody suffer one way or the other. Therefore, we need to consider it as our collective responsibility. Let all of us collaborate and work together for the health of our nation, for the economy of our economy, and ladies and gentlemen, for our future generations. Dawn is doing its bit by organizing and pursuing this agenda through Breathe Pakistan. But we all need to move on and do our own bit. Everyone must play its role, the due role which is necessary. Starting point when it comes to clean air financing should be green taxonomy, and we have to work together towards advocating this for clean air financing. In the absence of this, I'm very sad to say I don't think we'll be able to make a headway. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.